The rain began to fall, heavy and sudden, obscuring the familiar woods. You glance out your window, expecting to see deer seeking the usual cover, but they vanished. The yard that was alive with movement just moments ago now seems eerily still. Where do they go when the storm truly hits? Most people will tell you the deer simply sought shelter somewhere, perhaps under a thick pine or in a dense thicket. But that answer hides what is actually happening, a strategy that is precise, deliberate, and far stranger than almost anyone who walks these woods will ever know. Every deer you might see is in a specific place, a place it chose, a place it has chosen before, a place you have walked past 100 times without ever noticing. Tonight, we are going to find them. The Lakota people have long understood this hidden world. They speak of the Wakantanka, the Great Spirit, whose power is reflected in the resilience of all living things, especially the deer. Ancient stories tell of times when the sky wept with torrents, and the deer, guided by an instinct deeper than fear, would disappear into the very fabric of the earth. They wouldn't simply hide, they would become one with the landscape, finding places that shielded them not just from the rain, but from the very chaos of the storm. These weren't obvious caves or simple overhangs. They were spaces that seemed to breathe with the earth itself. In Celtic lore, the Cernunnos, the antlered god, was often depicted with deer at his side, symbols of fertility and the wild spirit of nature. During tempestuous weather, tales speak of the AOC, the fairy folk, leading the deer to sacred groves where the rain could not penetrate. These groves were said to possess an almost magical quality, their boundaries blurring with the veil between worlds. The deer were not merely seeking refuge, they were entering a sanctuary, a place where the storm's fury was rendered powerless. This knowledge was passed down through generations, whispered around hearth fires on nights much like this. Shinto priests in Japan, particularly those associated with Kasuga Shrine, have long revered the deer as messengers of the gods. For centuries, they have observed these sacred animals during inclement weather. They noted that the deer would often seek out specific geological formations, places where ancient earth energies might converge. These locations offered a unique kind of protection, a stillness that seemed to absorb the storm's energy. The priests recorded these behaviors in ancient scrolls, recognizing a pattern of deep understanding of the land's secrets. Norwegian folklore, preserved in the sagas of the Norse people, speaks of Eikthrnir, a stag who stands atop Valhalla, nibbling on the leaves of the world tree. While a mythic figure, the reference for the stag points to a deep cultural understanding of their connection to primal forces. Even in everyday life, tales persisted of deer disappearing into the most unlikely places during blizzards and downpours. These weren't just simple shelters, they were often points of natural convergence, where the wind and rain seemed to flow around them, leaving them undisturbed. Appalachian folklore, meticulously collected by WPA writers in the 1930s, offers a more grounded, yet no less wondrous perspective. Old-timers spoke of deer finding refuge in places that defied logic, not just brush piles, but the undersides of rock formations that seemed impossibly narrow, or dense stands of rhododendrons so thick they created a dry, quiet space within. These were places passed down through family knowledge, places where a hunter might see a deer vanish and know with absolute certainty that it had found a shelter no human eye could easily discover. What these disparate traditions hint at is a complex survival strategy, one that involves more than just finding cover. Researchers in wildlife ethology have begun to document this sophisticated behavior, observing deer exhibit an uncanny ability to locate the most effective shelters, not just during storms, but in response to various environmental pressures. They've identified at least 7 distinct types of shelter deer utilize, far beyond what is commonly assumed. The first type is what we might call the dense canopy refuge. This isn't just any tree. It's typically a mature conifer, like a spruce or a fir, with branches that grow very low to the ground, creating a nearly solid wall of needles. Deer will push deep into these trees, often several feet in, seeking the driest, most sheltered spot right against the trunk. Here, the thick needles act like 1,000 tiny umbrellas, shedding most of the rain before it can reach the ground. This is particularly effective in moderate rainfall, offering a quiet, relatively dry space. Then there are the undercroft shelters. These are found in areas with specific topography. Think of the hollowed-out space beneath the roots of a fallen giant tree, or the sheltered area under a large overhang rock. These spaces are often surprisingly dry and protected from wind, which is as crucial as protection from rain. The deer doesn't just enter. It often positions itself in a specific way, using its body to block any remaining openings, becoming a living seal against the elements. This behavior has been observed repeatedly in the mountainous regions of Colorado and Montana over the past 2 decades. A third crucial shelter type is the rhododendron wall. In regions where these dense, evergreen shrubs thrive, they create a microclimate unlike any other. A mature rhododendron thicket, especially one growing on a slope, can offer an almost completely dry interior. Deer will navigate through the seemingly impenetrable tangle, finding a space deep within that is insulated from the wind and shielded from the direct impact of raindrops. This has been documented in states like North Carolina and West Virginia. The rock overhang pocket is another vital refuge. These aren't grand caves, but rather small indentations or alcoves within rock faces. What makes them special is their specific positioning, often facing away from prevailing winds, and angled so that any rain running down the rock face is diverted. A deer will stand or lie in such a pocket, its body often filling the remaining space, becoming part of the rock itself. This strategy is particularly effective during heavy downpours. We also see the logjam sanctuary. In areas with fallen timber, especially where logs have created a jumbled, dense barrier, deer find shelter. They will often wedge themselves into the tight spaces between logs, utilizing the wood as a windbreak and a rain deflector. This is not about being completely dry, but about significantly reducing the impact of the storm and conserving body heat. This has been observed in forests across the Pacific Northwest. Then there's the less obvious, yet equally effective, dense undergrowth den. This refers to areas of extremely thick, low-growing vegetation, such as dense fields of ferns or thickets of young saplings that grow so close together they form a wall. A deer will carefully select a spot within this tangle, pushing its way deep into the center, where the interwoven stems and leaves create a remarkably dry and sheltered space. This has been noted in areas like the Adirondacks. Finally, and perhaps most surprisingly, there's the human-adjacent passive refuge. This isn't about seeking out barns or sheds, but about utilizing the subtle microclimates created by human structures that are often overlooked. Think of the protected space behind a neglected shed, the deep overhang of an old, overgrown brush pile near a fence line, or even the lee side of a large, dense garden hedge. These spots, while near human activity, offer an unexpected degree of shelter and are often chosen because predators are less likely to venture into them. The key to finding these shelters isn't random luck. Researchers have identified at least 3 key signals a deer uses to locate these deep cover spots. The first is scent. Deer possess an extraordinary sense of smell, and they can detect subtle changes in the air. The scent of damp earth, the absence of wind-blown water, the underlying scent of the specific vegetation that forms a good shelter. They are actively sampling the air, not just reacting to the rain. The second signal is subtle changes in sound. While we hear the roar of the storm, a deer's sensitive hearing picks up finer details. It can discern the difference between the sound of rain hitting open ground versus the muffled sound within a dense thicket. It can feel the vibrations in the ground, sensing how water is flowing and where it is being diverted. These acoustic cues guide them to the places offering the most effective protection. The third, and perhaps most profound signal, is an innate awareness of air currents and micropressure. Deer can feel the wind, not just on their fur, but as subtle shifts in air pressure around their bodies. They instinctively understand how wind interacts with different structures, allowing them to identify spots where the wind's force is minimized or even redirected. This allows them to find areas that offer protection not only from rain, but also from the chilling effects of wind. These observations, spanning decades and documented across at least 5 states in various woodland and forested environments, reveal a hidden intelligence at play. The deer aren't simply weathering the storm. They are actively and intelligently choosing their refuge, utilizing a complex array of sensory inputs and learned behaviors. What does this all suggest about the deer you see? It suggests a creature deeply attuned to its environment, possessing a level of awareness that far surpasses our common perception. They carry within them an ancient wisdom, a knowledge of the Earth's secret places and its subtle language. This knowledge isn't just about survival, it's about a profound connection to the natural world, a connection that allows them to navigate its challenges with grace and intelligence. The next time you see a deer at dusk, at the edge of your woods, in your headlights, or on a road you didn't expect, pause. Don't reach for your phone. Look. Just look. And know that for centuries, in every corner of this earth, people who paid attention understood what they were witnessing. They saw not just an animal, but a testament to nature's enduring wisdom. Now, you do too. You've seen where the deer go when it rains, a secret world revealed. If you found this journey into the hidden lives of deer enlightening, consider subscribing to What Deer Carry to uncover more of nature's profound mysteries.